Welcome to Horse Matchmakers, a podcast made to help first-time horse buyers navigate the horse buying process with confidence. We cover everything from what you need in a horse to understanding what ads are really saying, everyday scams to perfect prospects so you can match the right horse for you. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the common tricks in an ad, lines that instantly make the red flags go up. First up is the reasoning for the sale. Every horse has a reason they're being sold, whether it's because they're downsizing their barn, or the rider outgrew them, or maybe it just doesn't fit correctly for their sport, or the horse is an insane maniac that they can't control. So, if they write the reasoning for the sale within the ad and it's anything other than its current rider outgrew them, or they are downsizing their barn, that is a huge red flag. If they give a reasoning that is, it's too much horse, the horse is too spirited for this rider, or it's a bit too much a bit too much go than woe, then those are signs of a misbehaving horse that they cannot control, so they're getting rid of them. Make sure to read in between the lines for the reason of the sale to make sure you're not fixing to go visit a horse that's going to buck you off the second you get on. The next part are the vices that they explain. Horse ads are like car ads. If they mention it, it's true, but it's normally about 10x worse. If the horse is buddy sour and needs some encouragement to move away from his buddy, you can assume that this horse is misbehaving quite badly when it's away from its friends. If you get to messaging the seller on a horse like this, confirm what the reaction is for buddy sourness. It can range from speed walking to a friend to buck bolt rear when not with their friend. I have 3 different horses that are buddy sour. The first one is my horse Atlas. He mainly just speeds up and talks a whole lot whenever he's away from his friend. The second is my horse Loki. He will bolt to wherever his friend is, human friends included. The third is my horse Convet. He will buck, rear, bolt, and scream until he gets to his friend. These 3 levels are like the different ranges of buddy sourness. Every horse has some amount of issue with buddy sourness just because they're herd animals, but you want to make sure that they're more of an Atlas and not a Convet. Honestly, not even a Loki. Cribbing is another vice that has a huge range that can be like, it's a small issue to, oh my god. If they have a cribbing collar, which is a leather collar, or I've seen plastic ones and stuff, but it's around their neck to prevent them from sucking air. They colic more often than most other horses. If you try to get them not to crib, and they've been doing it their whole life, which is most people's reaction to that is, I'll just fix the cribbing. Then they colic from stress. They also wear down their teeth. Now, my barn soaks feed regardless of their teeth, but horses that have been colicking their whole life, so much to the point where they have a cribbing collar, and they've worn down their teeth, they have to have it soaked, otherwise they'll choke. I've had 2 horses that crib. One used to colic a lot. Once went a whole month where he colicked weekly. Now, he had a whole bunch of other issues, but most of those colics were due to cribbing. He had a cribbing collar, and nothing would make him stop. When he couldn't crib, he was nodding constantly. The second one has not colicked since we had him, knock on wood, and he cribs all day long. It just depends on the horse and how they crib. Another vice is crow hopping. If it's mentioned in the ad, it isn't crow hopping, it's bucking. Really honest people exist, of course. Like, I'm not saying every single person in the world is lying when they say their horse crow hops, but I'm saying if it's mentioned in a horse ad, it's bucking. Lines that also give you like red flags of vices are sometimes catches air when excited, gets really excited in the alley, really likes having a pasture mate, is spirited away from the pasture, and has trouble on trails. Sort of lines like that. Read in between the lines and sort of try and narrow down what vice that could be. Other red flags, just like to throw those out there, is 100% good boy. Simp for a 30-day tune-up. He's not a 100% good boy then, if he had to go get a tune-up. Now, that doesn't mean that he is now not a 100% good boy, but honestly, I'd expect him to be a 75% boy because he had to go back to get some more training. Great at groundwork. Sounds good, right? There's no mention of riding. Has to be great at riding and groundwork if you're looking for a riding horse, of course. If you're looking for a groundwork horse, go right on ahead, get the great at groundwork horse. Another scam within ads is if they ask for a deposit on a horse before a visit. You will visit the horse, it's nothing like the ad, then you lose the $300 you just deposited on the no refundable deposit. You can do this, just be careful. If it says no refunds, then I would just pass unless it's the absolute perfect horse for you. And no horse is going to be perfect, so it's honestly not really worth it. On the other hand, a 30-day trial period with a full refund, or a 10-day, or a 5, those are both good and bad sides. Means they are expecting the horse to come back, and they can make it difficult to return the money. But it can also mean that the people who are selling the horse is a responsible horse owner, and they want to find the best home possible for their horse. Another scam is when when a person takes the money and they will transport the horse themselves. Don't let the owner transport the horse. Have a third party pick it up, or better yet, do it yourself. After all, you would never go and buy a horse sight unseen, right? So at least be there for the pickup. I once knew somebody who bought a $7,000 gray mare. They bought it sight unseen, first mistake, then had the owner drive it up for an additional $1,000. The horse never arrived. The girl was heartbroken. They had to find the seller's church and then get the mom of the seller to force them to have their horse. And it was just a huge deal. And they almost lost a lot of money. And then the horse wasn't what they listed in the ad. Is actually insane and all that because they bought it sight unseen. Next up is signs of horse traders. So horse traders are people who take horses from auction for like 75 cents on the pound, ride them for a day or don't ride them at all, and then just sell them like they're this bomb-proof kid horse that's perfect for a beginner. Some of the signs are dozens of horses listed under the name, horses listed more than once under different names, big tragedies that led to the horse selling / the horse lived through that has no effect on the horse. If it has an effect on the horse, sometimes that's still a horse trader, but also typically that means the tragedy was real. Some others are that also can be like due to a different situation, except for the last two, is flowery language. So if they're like going on and on and on about this horse and they're writing like they're Shakespeare, it's probably a horse trader, or at least somebody who used ChatGPT, which can't be a good sign regardless. The amount of adjectives they use, I once ran into an ad that had 10 adjectives describing the horse's walk. That was a horse trader. Some things that are like huge red flags are a single picture of the horse that are in a pen full of like 80 other horses. Probably a horse trader. And a horse that just has a tag around their neck. Unless you're buying a Mustang, which if you're a beginner, don't. But unless you're buying a Mustang, it's unlikely they have a tag around their neck. So just no. Or actually, there is one other thing if you're buying from a big auction, which is a whole nother deal I'll make an episode about later. But if you're just buying from a private seller and it has a tag around their neck, probably a horse trader. So just make sure to watch out for the signs. Now, if you're messaging the seller, make sure they don't change the story about the horse. The horse says beginner on the ad, and they mention a intermediate rider might be best, red flag. They say 10-year-old on the ad, then swap to 12-year-old somewhere else, red flag. They need to keep the story straight. When you are visiting the horse, watch for them changing the story as well. A horse that requires a very experienced rider is a red flag as well on ads. Like I said before, horse sellers are like car salesmen. Every small issue they mention is a much larger one. Another scam is whenever they are asking you to inquire instead of having an outright price, especially on an unfinished horse. It means two things. One, this horse is going to be expensive as all gets out. Two, they want to see how much you're willing to pay. I have never even clicked on a horse with an inquire tag because it's most likely going to be like in the 30,000 range, and that's just a no for me. Now that we've reviewed a few common little scams, let's play just a quick little game. I'm going to read out a horse ad and you will guess whether or not it's a horse trader or not. Here is ad number 1. A 6-year-old 16.2 hand Gypsy Vanner X Percheron, sorry if I butchered that, Palomino paint gelding, who turns heads everywhere he goes. With the right amount of feather to be both gorgeous and low maintenance, he is about as eye-catching as he is practical. The stunning gelding has had the kindest expression and even kinder mind. Playboy has been extensively exposed to real-world situations and excels as a true all-round horse. He has been ridden on our large open cross-country course where our 8-year-old rider confidently jumped logs and took him through the water all by herself. We have also ridden him double on cross-country field. He has completed full obstacle courses, including teeter-totter bridges, pole noodles, traffic, and a variety of challenging elements. He has been around cattle, helped gather longhorns, and while he may be a pretty boy, he truly loves to chase the cows. He is completely comfortable with loud semi-trucks, heavy traffic, construction noise, and busy environments. He's even been ridden at night through colorful smoke-bombs, to McDonald's, and to local food stands. Under saddle, Playboy rides both Western and English, and has started basic dressage work, learning to move off the leg and beginning the foundations of collection. He has comfortable smooth gaits with an exceptional jog and an easy rhythmic trot, along with a forward marching walk. Playboy jumps in beautiful form and keeps the same steady rhythm over and away from fences. He's not a lazy horse, and he's not a hot horse. He falls right in the perfect in-between, making him an incredibly easy and confidence-building to ride. Whew. The kids absolutely love him because he does not require constant leg. They are happy to cruise along in that beautiful slow jog all day long. While Playboy is a certified true all-arounder, someone could absolutely choose to finish him in a single discipline they wish, whether that be hunters, lower-level jumpers, dressage, driving, ranch riding, or keep him as an all-round pleasure mount. But his versatility is what truly sets him apart. With his size, brain, bravery, and exposure, he could even go in the direction of being a police horse. On the ground, Playboy is just as easy as he is to ride. He loads ties and cross ties quietly and is polite and well-mannered for daily handling and grooming. He's an easy keeper, currently wears front shoes only, and turns out happily in a mixed field. The ad keeps on going for another 5 paragraphs. They have many horses listed on their page, and they do have an online auction for each. The entered facts match up with the ad, and it's an online auction, so no trying out the horses. The photos are very detailed, with the horse doing everything that the ad states, and it is a inquire price. Horse trader or not. Not. All signs point to a horse trader except for 2 different things. The first one is that you have to bid or inquire on their auction. Horse traders don't normally do all that work. They have a low price for what they're selling the horses, and then they sell them as quickly as possible. I'm not saying that they never do that, but typically it's the opposite. And then the second reason is the photos. So those photos prove that this horse has done all of the things that they say they did. Things that you can't do on a horse that you just picked up for 75 cents by the pound. On to ad number 2. Jackson is a gelding who checks a lot of boxes. He's super cute, friendly, versatile, and has the greatest personality. He even has a dolphin-shaped spot jumping over his tail. He rides inside and outside. He's good with flags and obstacles. He side passes, noses lead, is good with leg pressure, rides direct and neck rein. He was at an English barn before I got him, but I've camped with and trail ridden him. Took on week-long trips to Tennessee last year and Yellowstone this year. Jumps right into the trailer and backs out calmly. He's an energized bunny and will go all day or all weekend. Crosses water and bridges with no issues and walks through brush, over logs, and off trails calmly. We rode through a ground beehive last year, and he was one of the only horses that did not freak out and essentially just high-stepped through the area. He rides at the front, middle, and back of the group of ease and is very friendly with the other horses. At Yellowstone this year, he was in a stock trailer between 2 horses he didn't know with when we went to the trail and got along with them as though they've known each other forever. For riding alone on the trail, he does well with someone who's ridden some before but is great in a group. He is very curious and willing to try new things. He has clean feet and is barefoot. I've never had any issues with soundness. I did put 4 shoes on him for the Tennessee and Yellowstone trips, and he's still great for the farrier. Very great, very easy keeper, stalls well, and pastures well with anyone. He's a very low maintenance horse. I'm selling him because unfortunately I'm not financially able to keep him anymore. The ad has photos of him at Yellowstone, lots of photos of other things as well, a video of him at a walk, trot, and lope, and no other horses are listed under the buyer's name. Horse trader or not? Not. The photos, videos, and no other horses being listed point to this horse that is legitimately being let go due to financial reasons. Onward to ad number 3. Copper is a 13-year-old mare standing approximately 14.3 hands who is ready to be someone else's steady partner. You can't hold a candle to Freya's strong-minded, spirited approach to riding in life. He is a light that makes a young beginner stay, the joy that a young horse feels when they get their first horse. She has it all. She rides smooth as butter and as sharp as glass. She is perfect for your first horse. Up to date on all farriers well, vets well, no bite, no buck, no rear. A $300 deposit will hold Copper for 7 days. This deposit is non-refundable, but it is transferable to another horse if Freya does not work out for any reason. Okay, so the photos are all taken from the same ride on this horse. Many, many, many horses are listed from this page. Horse trader or not? Horse trader. Let's break it down real quick. A $300 deposit is always a bad sign in my opinion. Some people may use it as a way to make sure people don't waste their time, but it being non-refundable just makes it a little no to me. You can always risk it if you think that, in this case, Copper is the perfect horse, but in my opinion, I just, no. The photos are all taken from the exact same ride. That is somewhat suspicious because, like I said, horse traders typically pick them up and just ride once. The ad is also very flowery. There are 80 trillion adjectives. So this all points me in the direction of passing due to the threat of a horse trader. So, with our final ad, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Tune in next week for the step-by-step to purchasing a horse.